Hi, Powerless Balc here. Powerless man due to Alliant Energy charging for meter poles and disconnecting me 1 year, 4 months, and 2 days ago. I recently went to a public hearing with the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission was there, along with the Attorney General, along with the Commerce Department of Minnesota. And the deal was for the acquisition of Alliant Energy into Southern Minnesota Electrical Co-op, which is 12 co-ops combined. And they're analyzing this, and I got up and gave a powerless speech on behalf of the Powerless Balc group. And you really realize how powerless you are when you get in front of people like this. Everybody had power suits on and ties, and um, it's really not going to be a good deal for the cooperatives if Alliant Energy gets what they want, and hopefully the Attorney General is right by figuring out what are they trying to sell you here. But at any rate, it's going to take a long time for those guys to hash it out before I could become a Benco customer and get a meter pole for free and be treated right. I do have to thank the Benco guys for coming over and chatting with me, and the co-ops for chatting with me a little bit. But with that said, if they're going to buy this monster called Alliant Energy, and then they're going to have Alliant Energy be the power provider, the power generator for this for upcoming 10 years, that's the reason for the increased rate hike projections. And it's really not right. It'd be like me selling you a car, and then I'd be riding in the back seat, and you'd pay me each time I rode along with you. So it's really not right. But anyhow, the reason I've been able to do this, and this goes out to wrestlers. It's kind of getting into the tournament season now, and wrestlers, we adapt and we overcome to the challenges. When I was in high school, I won a state championship. We're just going to go through the highlights here, and I was ranked second in the state, and I beat the number one ranked guy from Apple Valley in the semifinals and won 7-2 against an undefeated wrestler from Bemidji in the finals. The unique thing about my chart is I won the state championship here, and this guy from Richfield, Jeff Zeeble, he won the state championship the following year and pinned his way through. And this guy, Tim Takautz from Hibbing, he won it back-to-back titles his junior and senior year. So I have actually 4 state champions, including myself, on my chart. Little highlight here, this next one here is the Northern Open back in 1989. And there's the highlight there with my Powerless Balc solar flashlight highlighting there. Won that trophy. That was a pretty good tournament for me. I wrestled John Llewellyn in the finals, and he was a 1991 national champion and 3-time Big Ten champion. Therefore, he beat me 3-2 in the semifinals, so as a Big Ten runner-up, and I think he beat me 5-3 there. But on that day, I beat him 3-1, and he was ranked number 1 in the country. So that one's kind of a nice highlight of my career. Up there in the top, I was an FFA in high school, so that was good. Learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve. That was the FFA motto, and it's ingrained in me yet today. That one there, the highlight there, I was the 1987 freestyle national champion, and in freestyle national champion for age 20 and under, university division. And that totem up there, I got 7th in the world. I made 1 world team, so that was quite a deal. But then I was a 4-time letterman to the University of Minnesota. And we go along to this wall and go over here. Won a few auctioneering awards later in my career after college. Diploma there from the University of Minnesota, Bachelor of Science. Delta Theta Sigma Outstanding Alumni in 2003. A couple all-state teams in high school. Mason City College of Auctioneering Diploma in 1984, sophomore year of high school. I went down and went through auction school. A few more wrestling awards, and then of course the Fairmont High School Hall of Fame. And so anyhow, I've had a pretty good career, but that comes through a lot of hard work and dedication. And in my first 2 years of college wrestling at the University of Minnesota, I didn't win a Big Ten match. In my last 2 years, I lost 3 times total in the Big Ten. So, and twice were to John Llewellyn, and that was in the Big Ten title or the Big Ten championships. So I turned my career around. Why did I do that? Is because I had competition. Competition came in to take my spot, and I was resilient enough and trained harder and did the things, and I changed. I changed and I adapted and overcame the competition to keep my spot at the University of Minnesota, in which made me a better wrestler. If electric companies were that way, we would have competition, and I'd be able to call up somebody if I was unhappy and say, hey, I don't like the way Alliant Energy is treating me. Can I switch to Benco or REF Jackson? And that would have already been done by now had there been competition, and I could have changed. But unfortunately, your monopolies do not have to work hard. They don't have to be dedicated like a wrestler does to become a champion. With that said, I'm going to conclude this here as Powerless Balc. This is probably my biggest highlight award is right here. I finished a 4-year career with Jay Robinson up there at the University of Minnesota, and this is what it takes to be a wrestler. This is what it takes in life to be a dedicated person. It takes dedication. I was the most dedicated wrestler at the University of Minnesota my senior year, and what that says to me is this is how awards are won, this is how relationships are built, and this is how champions are built, or at least finalists in some cases. But dedication to customer service, dedication to your job, dedication to wrestling, dedication to any other sport you may be in, it usually produces awards, and it usually produces wins. So unfortunately, Alliant Energy and the power company do not have competition. But anyhow, I'm going to end that with that speech, and thanks for listening. This has been Powerless Balc, and this has been brought to you once again by Balcom Auction. When you have an auction, you'll need an auctioneer. Call 888-HEY-BALC, and Balc will be here. Thank you.